Central City Improvement District this week released its second annual residential survey. The results are of interest to residents, landlords and business owners as they offer guidance in terms of the way the Central City has grown from a residential perspective as well as in terms of the business opportunities. Understanding what lies closest to the hearts of your city's residents is an important factor to consider when we are talking about growth and development. Now, the survey was created and analysed by Andrew Fleming, a senior researcher at the Central City Improvement District. He joins us from Cape Town today. Andrew, welcome to Newsroom.
Good morning, Katrina. It's great to be back.
Andrew, I just want to know, what is the overall picture we're getting from this survey?
Yeah, overall, it's a really exciting picture. This is the second year in a row that we've run this survey, and we're seeing a continuing trend of young professionals, people from around, the bulk of the ages are between 25 to 35 and upwards into 40, people who are really interested in living in Cape Town's Central Business District, not just because it's close to where they work, but because of the overall downtown lifestyle. People are really liking the fact that they can walk to work and connect really well to other areas around the city center, like Cliff Street, Greenpoint, and places like that, without really having to worry about going too terribly far. They're liking to feel that they can go to restaurants in their own backyard, coffee shops on the way to work, and really take part in a burgeoning downtown kind of thriving lifestyle in the CBD.
Andrew, I just want to break down the survey. Exactly what types of questions are asked in a survey like this, and who are the people who participate in the survey?
Sure. We asked a lot of questions around why people really enjoy living in the CBD, what challenges they face from living in the CBD, a lot on transportation and how people actually interact with the city in terms of where they're actually living and what they use the city for. I think sometimes a lot of people expect residents to only, walk to their house or to work from their house and that's it. But in reality, residents contribute so much to the life of the city, the economy of the city. So we really wanted to have questions that asked people how they interacted with the city in a way that actually makes sense to them as well. And of course, the other component of it is from the Central City Improvement District's perspective, the need to actually communicate with residents and the desire to take into account what residents want in a city in the services that are provided for them on the street and off the street as well.
Andrew, it's the second year running, and I understand you saw a significant increase in the respondents this year. Is that a good indication on a survey like this?
Absolutely, and this is still very much we call it a dipstick survey because it's not run to be a population count of everyone who lives in the CBD. We're really doing our best to reach a lot more people. So the fact that we had a 33% increase in the number of respondents taking this survey was a great sign for us that people are not only interested in telling us what they think, but actually still quite passionate about living in the CBD and what it means to be a Cape Townian resident in the downtown of Cape Town. So we're very excited to see this trend growing and keep it going in the future.
Now, what are some of the surprises that came through?
For me, I think one of the biggest surprises is that we had about 15% of our respondents were actually over the age of 55, which is a really interesting trend in terms of, again, who's living in the CBD. It was not expected, and it's great to see. And, looking at it further, I think, first off, a lot of people over the age of 55 are looking for a lock-up-and-go type of accommodation, somewhere where they can come to for several months of the year or most of the year, but travel very easily from and feel very safe leaving their home behind. But also it links to a growing part of our economy in the CBD linked to the medical industries. Not only do we have the new Christian Barnard Hospital opening down at the foreshore, but we've also got a growing number of doctors' offices, clinics and whatnot in the CBD that really offer quite a lot of services for people who may be looking for great access to premium healthcare.
You briefly mentioned the transportation as well. How many people are we seeing moving around in the city, and how are they? Which method of transport?
For sure. So it's we have a lot of people moving around, and a lot of people really enjoy the fact that they can walk to and from different destinations. We had an uptick from 30% last year to 37% this year who say that they regularly use the My City bus to get around the CBD. And I mean, that speaks volumes to the impact that the bus system is having here in Cape Town. But one of the things, and this is more of a challenge for residents in the CBD, And as a cyclist, I really encourage this, is that we still have about 64% of people using cars to go short distances. I mean, this is less than 3 kilometers. And of course, these car trips have impacts not only on congestion, but also on carbon emissions and overall quality of life in the CBD. And in Cape Town, we have the great opportunity to actually walk in a very compact city area from one point to another. And I think, people don't really realize what you can see on your way from home to work, whether it's historical monuments or, the great informal trade markets or anything else like that, that really make the CBD quite a unique place to live, steeped in history and in a really thriving current African city environment. And it's one of these things that we really like to encourage people to get out of their cars and actually walk around the city and experience it firsthand while going in between, point A and point B.
Now, Andrew, just to wrap, can you tell us where can people get hold of the survey if they want to know more?
Absolutely. So the initial results are available on the Cape Town, the Central City Improvement District's website, which is the www.capetowncid.co.za. But we're also going to be debuting an infographic in the next several weeks, which will display all of the results in a really easy to access format. And that really shows, kind of each area of the survey, what all the numbers are meaning and what they mean together.
Well, Andrew, thank you so much for joining us this morning to talk about the Cape Town Central City Improvement District had its annual residential